We're back. We are live again. I think there may be like I don't know, maybe a 40-second delay. Let me see. It came up on my screen over here yet. It says live 7. It ain't came up on you on my YouTube yet. That's about a 40-second delay, but it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, there's a serious delay. Yeah, we live. Sharlena, what's going on? Sharlena, was you on the last show? Did you come to the last show? If you didn't come to the last show, you missed it. We had a blast. We was over there yapping it up. It was a good time though. It was a good time. I can do those. I was just talking to D about it. And oh man, Charlene, you gotta go back and watch the last show. I was talking to D about it, and I was saying I can do those market watch finance things and break them down all the time, right? Because I get a ton of them. I have my email set up for like tons of those where we can go on there. Yeah, Charlene, you missed some gems in that show. You gotta go back and watch that show. From community property to what are assets, to the good old shacking and cohabitation and living with folks. What are your rights? As well as protecting of your assets prior to marriage and during marriage, right? What does that look like? Um, we had a guest to come up. Shout out to the Charlotta for camming up and coming up, right? Have that discussion with your daughter, right? Um, bonds, municipal bonds, kings, aristocrats, the whole nine, right? I want y'all to have at least I call tech stocks and jobs at least like the starter pack. It's the starter pack just to get you going and get you to invest. That's what I call it. Yeah, right. Get you going and get you to invest. How to find a financial advisor, how to find a financial planner, right? Understand those terms. Don't let nobody dupe you and have you paying a mortgage and your name ain't on the deed. Woo! Don't move in with somebody you don't know what the situation is. Oh no, baby, I own this house. Well, you're not on the deed, sir. You don't own nothing but a mortgage. You're not on the deed. So me and D was joking in the background. Thank you, Natasha. I did. Me and D was joking in the background. And D was like, when I picked up my bag, this what it reminded her of. Let me make sure my sound is up here. When I was doing it. The girl, the one with the lady that moved into the house with the guy, and she was like, it's been 15 years they was together. Uh and so look, D was like this was the lady moving into the guy house that he ain't on the deed. This is what D said it was. This is what D said that this is what she did. Backpack, 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 backpack. D was like she done picked her backpack up and was in there with the backpack. Backpack, backpack. And when their lady decide that she don't want to be bothered with him and that mortgage and whatever they got doing anymore, this is what they're gonna be doing. Backpack, 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 backpack. But that lady get done with them and was like, move out of my house. Him and her gonna be backpack, backpack. That made me laugh. That made me laugh. Ladies and gents, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't move into the house if you don't know who on the deed. You need to find out because it could be two people on the deed. Yeah, the girlfriend take getting the $6 million for taking care. She wouldn't even really take it. One, she didn't get 6 million for. I think what happened was the money went to the son, and the son ended up writing a letter and giving it to the girl. And that's why the sister is like, we got to go back to court. Let me pull it back up and reread it again. I know this ain't the show for it, but let's reread and make sure we got our facts straight. Let me do that. Hold on. Let me think. How did I get there? Oh, I just closed it all down. Did I close it down? Yeah, I did. I closed it down. I did. All right. So let's go. I got to talk about. I got to talk about that. But let me go down here. Let me go down here. See if I can find that story, girl. All right, we started here. And let me scroll down. Um, See, I can't even get back to it. Let me think. What was it? 6 million. See, let's do Market Watch. 6 million left to girlfriend. Let's do that. Right here. Boom. This happened in July. It was updated in July. Here you go, right here. We didn't even read the comments. We had our own commentary about it. All right, let's run through this real quick. All right, last September, my brother took his own life. We got that part. Over the years, he was caught up by our adoptive parents. They died the mother died in 2017, the father died in 2020. During the parents' later years, they quit traveling. They took to take care of the brother. They were afraid to come around. His former girlfriend visited the parents. Grew older. As my parents grew older, a former girlfriend of my brother visited my parents, helped them with errands. My brother was infatuated with her and obsessed with getting her back. She would say no, but it was always on his mind. After my dad passed, a friend called the police to do a welfare check on my brother. He was out cold. The doctor told him that he needed to change his ways or he would be dead in 6 months. I discovered his female friend brought him vodka. At the end of September, he took his own life. His former girlfriend inherited everything, a seven-figure estate. She told me that he talked many times about suicide. I would have removed the guns from the house had I known that he owned any. She also said that he talked to her about stocks and showed her how to trade. I suspect she knew the value of the estate. In a letter right here, in a letter written in 2021, he said I should get the family home and a portion of his large bank account. Okay, so this the brothers. In the letter written in 2021, he said I should get the family home and a portion of his large bank account. Unfortunately, my brother didn't understand that this note wasn't legal or binding as there were no witnesses to take it. I asked for my so the family did leave him something. And I asked for my father's portion of the estate which adds up to 2 million out of the six. I'm willing to take the 1.5. What would y'all do in this situation? We not never did ask y'all. What would y'all do? Would y'all go sniper or something? Or would y'all pack a backpack? Backpack? What you doing? Would y'all let this? Would y'all let it slide? Would you let it slide? She gotta go. Right? What would you do? I asked for my father's portion, right? So this is where I get into she was estranged from the family. The sister was estranged from the family. So I have questions about why was she estranged, maybe whatever the case may be, and why there was nothing in place before the parents passed away, because whatever was passed to him, father, mother, I mean, daughter, I mean, not daughter, but husband and wife passed it to the son. And the son was like, I ain't got nothing else to live for. I ain't got nobody else, so I'm gonna give it to my ex-girlfriend. She could use it. And she was giving him vodka, knowing that he was suicidal and was drinking. Ooh, y'all treacherous. Treacherous. It said, I suspect there was some intent there that she played the long game. She's been very hesitant about giving me anything. She said she could honor my parents by not blowing it. I ain't giving you nothing. Woo! I ain't giving you nothing. I ain't giving you nothing. That's what she said. I ain't giving you nothing. You ain't getting nothing. You don't do nothing. You don't get nothing. But she said you can do this though. I ain't giving you nothing. But she said you can do this. She said, I'm not giving you nothing. She got an estate out of this. And she not gonna even give the man's sister nothing. Y'all cruel, y'all a cold piece out here in these streets. Y'all cold piece. She said she could do the honor my parent. She could honor my parents by not blowing it. I said you can honor them by giving me what I asked for. What would you do in this situation? Heather G, you say you can't let millions go? You can't do it? Let's look at who Quentin Trail is. Is this Quentin? I'm assuming so. This is Quentin. Quentin is petty. This will be responding to the articles. An Irishman in New York, managing editor, personal finance, Market Watch, created the moneyest advice, former Ireland correspondent. That's who be answering these moneyest over here. This guy here. He is the guy. Mm. They be having some stories on here. What you gonna have to go dig up some dirt on her? You gonna have to set her up. I'm being nosy. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the show, but I'm just being nosy. My father is 72, dropped a bombshell that he has a 9-year-old son. What happens to his $10 million estate? He's 72 with a 9-year-old. So what he had him when he was 63? The daddy is carrying a backpack. The daddy is carrying a backpack. My father is going to update his will and estate plan. He has asked us for suggestions on how to handle this. He owns about $5 to $6 million in real estate, has about 2.5 million in a Roth IRA, plus some CDs and a brokerage account. All told, he's worth $10 million. And y'all want to sit up here on as they say on Obama's and Beyonce's internet and argue about 47K. If you don't get your backpack out of here. My father and mother had a rocky part of their marriage in their early 60s. They actually separated for about 6 months. My mother had some mental health issues that caused the separation. My dad is nearly 72, and my mother passed away 8 years ago. My dad worked in a different town for a period of time. During that time, he had an affair with a much younger coworker. She got pregnant and had a baby. She didn't get pregnant. They need to cross this out right here. This need to be they. They got pregnant. She didn't just get pregnant. They got pregnant. She didn't just sit up there and was like, oh, she wasn't like on the wings of love. Right? My mom and dad never said anything about this. She blamed herself for driving my dad away. Since my mom's death, my father has lived alone. He would disappear sometimes for a week at a time, only saying that he was out of town visiting friends. My father has been diagnosed with cancer. The prognosis is good, but he had a talk with all of my sisters about his states. My two sisters were in a state of shock with the over the revelation, so it's three of them in total. My father just dropped a bombshell about the affair and the 9-year-old stepbrother we didn't know about. My sisters were in a state of shock over the revelation. I am 40 years old. My two sisters are in their mid 30s. My folks helped us all out when we got married and we started out in our careers. We are all financially secure. My father and mother put together a fairly large estate. He owns 5 to 6 million in real estate, has 2.5 million in Roth IRAs, plus CDs and a brokerage account. All told, he's worth 10 million. No, Adrian, they got pregnant. They she needed his sperm. Nah, they together. He also told us that he started a 529 plan for the stepbrother and he has about 60,000 in it. The lady he had an affair with has not asked for any child support according to my dad, and they have been seeing each other over the past few years. My father is going to update his will and estate plan. He has asked us for suggestions on how to handle this. My two sisters are furious with my dad and don't want to discuss it. It's too late. Little buddy here now, and he 9. It's time to talk. I'm the only one that understands a little. Ain't nothing to understand a little. My concerns, what should we do legally? Can the new stepbrother get 25% of my dad's estate? Absolutely, he surely positively can. What are the girlfriend's rights to my dad's estate? Whatever he writes in. My father has a clear mind and his cancer diagnosis got this conversation started. Dazed and confused in Colorado. Where they at? Where they at? Let me go see. Right? You can look at this new addition to your family through the lens of fear and resentment or as a Thanksgiving gift. There are no guarantees that the parent will, with a fortune of 10 million, will leave any of it to his children. I ain't got to leave you nothing. I make this money, I take it with me. I make this money and I give it to the dogs. I make this money and I can give this money to the school. I can give this money to research for ants. I can take this money and I can go give it to the girlfriend if I wanted to. And y'all will be out here with your what, D? Y'all say it with me. Backpack, backpack. Right? I can do that. I can do that. Heather G, you said split it evenly? Let me see. I've been this child for 40 years. All of a sudden, don't know nothing about this kid. They 9 years old, and you want me to split it evenly? I don't know. You say it's 10 million, so it should be split evenly. I don't know. They was like little buddy one in the gym. So let's get to it. Yes, your father's son is fortunate to have a parent with such means, especially as it will no doubt come as a surprise. But you and your sisters are lucky too. You just had a lifetime to get used to the idea. I'm glad you have asked about the legality and the practicality of dividing your father's estate. If we are not here to help each other, what is the point? Your father's wealth should make it easier for you and your sister to come to terms with the news. Now, here's the other thing too. The reason why I'm encouraging y'all to get this money now, and we're gonna get to how to get this money. The reason why I want y'all to get this money now is so that y'all can understand. Like he's already got $60,000 saved up in a 529 plan for a 9 year old. You put some CDs aside. You see that, right? He's worth 10 million, but he got CDs too, right? And you can do CD laddering and you can do bond laddering as well too. All I'm saying to you is put money up for the next people that's coming up, so they ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't gotta go out there and hit the hammer and nudge. But I'm not saying don't let them do some work. I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying is make sure you putting money up for the next group of people. And don't, like I say, don't leave them all this money and no instructions, right? And that's what he's doing. I'm leaving instructions, right? All right, it says your father's wealth should make it easier for you and your sister to come to terms with the news that your father has a child whose life now comes with immeasurably more opportunities as yours does too. Three things. One, not all states treat half siblings equally under the intestacy law. What is the intestacy law? We keep seeing that today. We need to know what that is. Quentin, you didn't define that in the thing. The intestacy law. Intestacy is the state of dying without a will. If a person dies without a will, he is said to have died interstate. Interesting. Intestate. The estate of a person who has died intestate goes through probate court. The state intestacy laws will determine who will inherit the descendants' assets. Right? Two, stepchildren are not regarded as legal heirs. All right. Number three, your 9-year-old brother is not a stepchild. Ooh, ooh, woo. Your 9-year-old brother is not a stepchild. Why is he not a stepchild? Why is he not a stepchild? It said he's your father biological child and your half sibling. The biggest mistake you could make is allow your father's affair to reflect your feelings for your younger brother. You have a couple of choices. You can split the estate 4 ways. We see that. We can see you see that. I see y'all like in the comments talking about split it 4 ways. Heather G, you was just going to go ride on the other chick. You was just getting ready to ride up on them. You was like, hold up. Wait, you was getting ready to ride on them. Right? Or you can use the state laws as a guide. I flavor a 25% split. Your father can set up a trust in his name to provide for his schooling, provide him with an income, and eventually a lump sum to spend on real estate or set up his own business. All right, let's break that down right there. That's a good one right there. I like that. I like that though. I like that. Right? Say you can split it up at 25%. Let's get that. Let's throw that out. Let's throw the 25% out. I don't know how I feel about that. Mm. Your father can set up a trust in his name to provide schooling, to provide him with income, and eventually a lump sum to spend on real estate to set up his own business. Listen to how direct that is. Listen to those instructions and how direct those instructions are. Provide schooling in a trust. I'm telling you what's going to be in this trust. And under this trust, we're going to say, here's some schooling. You need money for school. We got that. It can provide you an income. So while you at school, you ain't struggling. You can eat with your backpack. A lump sum to spend on real estate or to set up his own business. You see how clear those instructions are? That's how y'all need to leave y'all instructions. In Texas, there is more than one full. In Texas, if there is more than one full sibling, half siblings inherit half as much as the full siblings inherits because they only share one parent with their others. Read it again. In Texas, if there is one, if there is more than one full sibling, half siblings inherit half as much as the full siblings inherits because they only share one parent. In California, Florida, Georgia, Minnesota, North Carolina, half siblings and full siblings have the same intestacy rights, she adds. We got the same rights, my guy. Bring it over here, baby. Mm, 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 mm. There may come a time when he needs an older brother or would like to have an older brother for guidance. In addition to this being a financial dilemma for your family, as far as your inheritance is concerned, it's also an opportunity for you to mentor and be of a service to this boy as he gets older. He may believe he is an only child. The other inheritance, if you're willing, lies with the goodwill and acceptance of you and your two sisters. Mm. People don't look at you like a child, though. They look at you like you're a problem. Okay. So we covered two of those. I went back over the other one. Now we're on that one. What I didn't bring up on the last show, we're gonna talk about this. On the last show, I didn't mention this. Georgia got 3,500 jobs coming from Hyundai. 3,500 jobs for the electric vehicle manufacturing. It's in Bartow County, so 3,500 jobs, and it would create 5 billion in investments. So why do I bring that up? You may want to start looking in Bartow County for property. You may want to look at Bartow County for some condos or some townhomes or some duplexes to invest in and rent them out to folks, right? And you may want to look there for work. You may want to go. Some of you might want to go work at the Hyundai motor at Hyundai in Bartow County. It will be located in Bartow Center, located off of Highway 411, right? The Bartow Center. Let me see if they give me a location. Bartow Center is a nursing home, but that's not what it's giving me. I'm getting a nursing home. Let me do this. Right here. It's in the industrial area. I wonder if they're hiring for low code, no code, low code in that area. Let's go look. Let's go see what kind of skills. Oh, my hand on the wrong thing. Make sure I spell that Hyundai right. Motor group. Get that. Now let's go look and see what kind of jobs they get. Newsletter, notice. I wonder if they're hiring through a third party. Because I'm not seeing it. I bet you if I go, let's see, let me do this. All right, and career opportunities, careers, corporate locations. They got regional office in Marietta. Genesis. All right, let's go with here. Oh, I can't click on that. Guess I gotta click here. And then let's go with early career opportunities, finance, internal audit, administration, communications, customer experience, early career opportunities. I guess I need to go with mobile strategy. Yeah, this is product. I'm looking for their technical stuff. Marketing, safety. I'm just gonna type in here. I'm just type cloud. Okay, they got the internal audit. Let me look at. Let me type Linux. See if they got anything. Um, Everything's coming back. Nashville, Georgia. Where is Nashville, Georgia? Is Nashville, Georgia? I guess it's supposed to be Nashville, Georgia, Tennessee, USA. I'm like, what is Nashville, Georgia? I ain't never heard of that. But I haven't seen anything. But they got some stuff coming, so check them out. All right, so that was Sunday. Uh, of course, Wells Fargo said their customers are getting nervous. Wells Fargo should be getting nervous. All right, this is what I want to get to right here. Acquisitions. We didn't talk about this. So D is not going to be able to come up right now, but I did mention this on the show Wednesday. And what I want to discuss today is, do you know what your assets are in terms of your skill sets? So, why is Tamika talking about this? Because I want you to be able to look at yourself from an asset situation. And I talked about this week. Uh-oh. And it was something that we learned last week about being able to look at a company and then look at a company for all their assets, right? So what I want to do is we'll use me as an example. And I'll just put my name here. And what assets do you think that I have? Put them in the chat and I'll type them on the screen. What assets? And when I say assets, my skill sets that I think I have. So let's start. I'll start off with one, and you can do the same thing for yourself. Um, we'll say public speaking. I guess you could say is an asset, right? Tasha says Linux. Let me see. What else? Patience. I guess you could say that. Communication. You could say cloud. All right, investing. K8. I'll go with that. That's an individual. What else? I'm letting y'all take the lead on this. K8, investing, problem analysis, content creator, mentoring, program management. Okay. Now, I mean, it's more, right? This is just to get you all started with your own assets and what you think your assets are. Like your skill sets are your assets, right? You can literally take this and go into a deeper dive with this, right? Let me blow this back out because it looks small on the screen. Right now, once you have that, right? Oh yeah, research is a good one. Now, once you have this, right? I'm going to do a little deviation in what we talked about because um we broke it down into also the problems and then solutions, right? So you can literally add I could do this. Let me do this. Let me do it this way. Let me do this. And let me point it down here. That's what I want to do. I want to take this and pull that down to this here. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Not that. Let me see. Yeah. And that, you get the idea here, right? And I'll pull this over to here. All of them should go over to here. Um, I ain't gonna have time to do all of it, but you get the idea. Right? These are all my assets, right? And let me pull this back down until I get this taken care of. Hold on, let me make it a little bigger so I can see, right? Put it all over there. It's stacking up. All right, so we'll blow that back out. So those are the assets, right? And we'll pull this up here. All right, so now you can talk about your problems and then solutions. All right. Now, why did I break it down like this? Because I want you to be able to be honest and real with yourself. I can be honest with myself, right? Time management, over analysis, not detailed orient enough to me. And please feel free to add any other problems that you see that I have. I'm okay with you telling me I have problems. I'm okay. What problem? I'm not gonna kick you out the show. I'm not gonna kick you out the show. That's not who I am. Right? What problems do you think I have? Just from our interaction of knowing me, of being on the show. What problems? And you can do this for yourself too. And what I would implore you to do is actually actually take this same thing and share this link. Like I could share this link with you. Actually, I'll do this now. I'm gonna share this link with you, and y'all can put it up. Y'all can type on this all you want. I don't have to type. So let me share this link with you all, and let me know if you all can type on this. Let me know if you can type on it. Workaholic. I'll put that down. Hold on. All right, somebody join. I see it entering brainstorming mode. All right, so feel free to add to this link. Oh, error has occurred. Wait a moment. Why I say an error has occurred? I don't know why. Try again. I'm gonna try it again. Let me know if y'all can get on this link. Oh, that was Facebook had a problem. I don't know why Facebook had a problem. Sometimes all over the place. It's a method to my madness, but I'll write it now. They all commingle. They all commingle. So when whoever's adding, right? Whoever adds, you have to put like right here, and then when you click right here, here's how it works. I'll pull that down right here. So if you click on problems and you click on tab, it'll put another little bubble there for you. So if you click on this and then click tab, it'll make a little bubble for you. So give it a shot. Let me know. It's 5 people on here right now. So you can click on here and you can type. I'll delete that one. And if you want to add to the assets, you can. If you want to add to problems, you can. But I want you all to be able to do this for yourselves, about yourselves, right? So what would be some solutions that you could see that I could use, right? And you can just click on here. That's pretty cool. Whoever typed that, that's cool. We're okay with that. I don't know who did that, but that's okay. Solutions. Wealth of knowledge. Is wealth of knowledge supposed to be here or under assets? Oh, and by the way, whoever typed that, that word doesn't bother me. I just want you to know that. Yeah, I probably got a troll. It's all good. It's a Melissa. I don't know. I think that kind of stuff don't bother me. Because here's the difference, right? If I drop the link, the person wouldn't come up. So it don't matter. It don't matter. All right. So is wealth and knowledge supposed to be under assets? Whoever typed that. I don't know. Either way it go. So what are some solutions? So it could be a solution could be yeah, stick to schedule. That could be one. And then you can even go further with the stick to schedule, right? You could do stick to schedule, use calendar, right? Right. So this is what I want you all to be able to do, right, with yourself. Now, once you have this, you say, well, okay, so what? I got this. Now what I'm gonna do with it? Well, once you have this, right, and you've trying to figure out what you're gonna do next with it, is now you're gonna be able to take this and look at yourself and say, okay, and this is what I want you to be able to do is now you can take these assets and maybe go a little bit further, right? And say, well, how well do you and you can use pen and paper for this, is how well do you know about investing, right? So, and you can break investing down, but I'm just keeping it kind of general right now. And you can rate yourself on a 1 to 5 scale, right? Well, one being I really don't know, five being I know, and three you're kind of neutral, right? And you don't have to do it this way on here. You can create like a little caption or something like that on here and say give it a ranking like 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. Now when you do that, you can put all your ones together, you can put all your twos together, you can put all your threes together, your fours and your fives, and then come up with a plan to how you're going to improve in order to get to know those things, right? Right. Right. So here with investing, well, I could easily say for investing, I could say I'm neutral and probably like a three. I don't know everything. I think there's still a whole lot I don't know. Right. And let me see where I think I closed it. Um, right here. All right. So here I can say I'm gonna give it a ranking, and I'll put a three there. So here I put a ranking right here for three. So if I click on it, I got a ranking of three, right? And I can do here. I can come back over here again. I'm gonna do a ranking. I could do a ranking of I don't know, probably like 4, maybe even you could probably do a 3 there. And you can walk down these and then rank them. And then once you get that, right, let's go over here and let's do this. And then let's do rankings. For one, and then another one for rankings for 2. And then let's come over here and do another for rankings for 3. And you get the idea. Rankings for 4 and rankings for 5. And you're gonna keep going once you get them all together. Like, like your 4 and your 5s, you get a chance to see, okay, I'm pretty good at my 4s and my 5s, but I need to improve on 1s and 2s and 3s. And then once you get your 1s and 2s and 3s together, right? Once you get your 1s, your 2s, your 3s together, then what I want you to go back do is take that even further. Like, put over here, okay, well, I have my, let's take this and say I'm gonna give Linux a 1 ranking, right? Say I give Linux a 1 ranking, right? Now let's say next thing I do is this, um, ways to improve, right? Now you're gonna say, well, what can you do to improve, right? What can you do to improve? So that's what I want you to get used to. That's what I want you to do with your if whenever y'all have some time. You don't have to do it this way. I'm just using a mind map to show it to you visually, all right? To show it to you visually of what that could look like. So once I got these ranked over here, I can then take them and you could cut and paste and put them down here and whatnot, and then keep drilling in and then ways to improve. And then once you come up with your ways to improve, start figuring out a timeline in which you want to spend with improving those things. Right? Come up with a timeline to spend with improving those things. Right? Does that make sense? Now, keep all that in mind, what I just said. And we're going to come up with my guy here. Give me 1 second. Let me look and see which one I want to go over because it's the same concept. Was it a live that he did it on? Let me see. Let me look. Hold 1 second. Let me see. I don't think it was a live that he did it on. I don't think he was live when he did it. I think he was at a conference. And let me look at this and make sure I get you the right one. Two months ago, 4 days ago. Let me look.
What type of business?
Yeah. I can't believe I can't find it. 1 second. I had it in my document, but it's not there anymore. But I know I probably ain't gonna be able to go to my history to find it. But possibly. Does this chart make sense, by the way? Is it making sense to you all? How you can break your own stuff down, break yourself down, right? Into what makes sense, like how to look at yourself, how to take yourself and look at yourself to buy. I think this may be it. Yeah, this is it
I
right
know
here.
this from
All right. So uh this is one person of where this concept comes from, but this is an 11-minute video. But take yourself out of the fact that it's buying factors to consider when buying a business. Think of yourself as the business and um, what assets do you have, right? So when you look at this video, it'll probably give you a little bit a clear idea of what I'm talking about. So let's make this bigger, and then I'm gonna stop it along the way as we go along. But keep in mind, this is something that you can do with when you're looking at a company that you want to work for. What are the assets of the company? Like what will be the gain of you going to work there? What would be the gain for you staying where you're at? What problem are you solving by making this move to this company? What problem are you solving when you make this move to the company? Like what problems do they have? Right? And this will help you with the interview questions as well too. And on top of that, what solutions do they have in place or can they improve on? And what solutions do you know, excuse me, that work that they could use, right? So it gives you like a way to do an analysis and break things down, right? Something you can do with every interview, something you can do with every job offer, something that you can do with just yourself. It just spans across the board, right? So let's get into this video, and then keep in mind it's not about the business, even though you are the business, but it's really more about your assets and your skill level. So let's look at it.
from being in masterminds that when I'm in a mastermind and I hear people go around and introduce themselves like you guys did this morning, I want to be in all of your businesses and I don't want to own any of mine.
Oh, can y'all hear? Let me know if you can hear. I think you can. You're the backpack guy, so I want to make sure you can hear.
So how do you identify the specific targets now that you've found the businesses? Well, first you've got to define what do you want. So figure out the profile of the type of business you want, the category. Is location important to you? Is it something that you want to be close to?
Now take all this and put it into your looking for a job and your skill set. The location, the revenue. Uh, you can leave out number 4. The culture, um, uh, the supply and demand of the company. What kind of customers do they have? Right. Again, soft assets. Again, not everything is going to apply. Just pull out what doesn't work and what does work. Okay.
So you can keep tabs on it. Does the revenue meet your minimum revenue, EBITDA, SDE requirements to make it interesting to you? Is it positive cash flow or does it have profits but negative cash flow? Because some business.
Yeah. Are you losing money? Is this job getting to the money that you want to be at? That's cash flow to me. So you can, if you requested for 240 and they offered you and they offered you 200 and you were looking at 240, and they come back and they like, nah, we can't do that. We doing 200 and you're already at 225. Does it make sense for you to go back and then move up? You got to ask yourself, what other factors make up that so that you can get back to that. And what does that change your lifestyle as well too?
businesses do. If it has negative EBITDA, then is it negative because it's on an accrual system and they have the money in the cash flow? Because they have to recognize the revenue over time, it looks like it's a loser, and that makes it hard for them to sell. So those are all things to think about. Could be taking out too much money, absolutely. Drawing it down. Growth life cycle, is it in an up or down cycle? Is there a moat? Does it have defensive?
Now, when he's talking about here, the growth life cycle, is the company up and down, or what's their stock looking like? Or do they have customers coming in? Are they losing customers? Have been having layoffs? Do they have a high turnover, right? You got to interpret this just a little differently. And I'm gonna try to walk you through that and how you can use this same concept to look at yourself and look at other things across the board. Drop a 1 in the chat if this is making sense to you.
Intellectual property? Does it have a competitive advantage? Does it have a great culture? Is there market cyclicality? Is this a business that is up and down like the construction business? Are there soft assets like a great brand that people like, or they give a good customer experience? How marketable are the assets that are on the balance sheet? What is the supply and demand risk? Is there any chance that your supply might be cut off? Is there somebody that controls the supply? Is this something that the owner owns a vertically integrated businesses and spinning off one of them and now is going to be the monopoly controller of your supply? Those are things you want to think about. We don't do that anymore. Me Too kind of risks going on. And what is the capacity of the business to expand? Because you're going to buy it hoping to grow it. Is it operating at full tilt right now, or is there capacity so that it can add a shift or do something more to?
Yeah. So when he's talking about the last little bit, like, so what is the team size? You coming to the team, why are they ramping up? Do they have more customers coming in? Are there special projects? Is there a project growing or so, right? So again, when we look at these things, I want you to look at it again. You are a business. You have these assets that we just showed. We have these problems. We have these solutions. You have things that you know you can do really, really well, and things you know you can't do really, really well. And then you also providing value and adding value to I don't want to say the customer, but to a company, or it could be to a customer or to a client, right? Know your worth is what the goal is here, right? And I see we only had 2 1s, so the rest of everybody else is confused. Is everybody else confused? Is that what I'm getting? Everybody else is confused, or is everybody still typing on MindMeister? Is everybody still over there typing? Let me see. I can go in here and see on my screen. Somebody got Trump and Kanye 2024. That's nice. Guest 18. Thank you, Guest 18, for the Trump and Kanye for 2024. We appreciate you for putting Trump and Kanye for 2024. We'll change that back. And you know, it's really easy for me to turn off the share. It's really easy for me to turn off the share. All right. So again, let's get back to it. All right. So my guy rolling over here. All right. So let's go.
Produce more stuff. So once you have that profile, I just fill it out on a form like this, right? So, and you have this. So I just basically go through and enter that information, and that kind of gives me a yes, no. So long ago, we talked about Vinny and the accounting business. So going through this exercise, were we able to find anything for Vinny to buy? Well, yeah. We found, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 21. We found 21 categories of businesses that he could buy that he's now reaching out to. So that's pretty cool. Like, if you go through this exercise, you'll go from I have no idea what to buy to I got a lot of ideas. And you want a lot of ideas because ideally you're going to find about 100 potential people and businesses to approach. And out of that, you'll whittle it down pretty quickly to about 20. And then.
All right. So here, so now when you have this, right? You have this list. And now you're trying to figure out, where do I apply for a job at? Where should I go work at? What should I do? What can I do? Right? Now you have a better idea of what you can do. And also you can use this to break down companies to see how your skills lined up with that company or that position or so forth, right? So you can do the same thing here, right? So let's take this even one step further. I like this slide here. So let's say you look at your skills and you like, oh, my skills are really good for a company that's probably focusing on payroll or finance or auditing or bookkeeping or cloud services, or maybe cloud service within the financial market, or maybe cloud service within finance, or maybe cloud service within the state planning. Maybe I can be a consultant. Maybe I can work with somebody on a retirement plan or a company that's centered around retirement, right? Maybe you want to work for a company that's doing EV and you want to work on the back end of that, right? So again, you could take your skill sets that you have and start selecting target markets that you want to work in, and then look at the length of how long those markets have been around. So now you have a targeted audience, a targeted timeline. You also have a targeted market, and now you start to filter out the fluff and filter out everything else. Does that make sense? Type of one in the chat if that made sense. I see you keep, whoever it is, that keep changing it to uh Kanye and Trump. That's nice. Cool. All right. So let's get back into it again. Again, you got to do your research.
And when you start getting into due diligence a little bit, you'll get down to maybe 5, and then you'll end up buying, 2 or 3, and then you'll look for another 100. For each of the categories that you identified, talk to all the people that I mentioned, and then build your list and start outreach. So how do you find who to send your communications to at the business once you know that you've got a business you want to reach out to? Well, there's lots of ways. You can call the company and ask who the owners are. That's pretty straightforward and easy, but maybe you don't feel comfortable on the phone. Maybe there's something else you'd rather do. I find the easiest way to identify all of the players is frequently to go to secstates.com, which aggregates all of the Secretary of State's websites. So SecStates will take you to the list of all the Secretary of States. You just click on that, put in the name of the.
All right. So start outreach, right? Only going by titles. Start outreach. So now you probably narrowed down a title, like, well, you narrowed down a sector. Let me say it that way. Now you narrowed down a sector. You may have picked out a couple of companies, and now you need to start using your network within your spaces to find someone in those companies in order to start looking for jobs or getting ahead of the curve, right? So again, you're going from this big thing, and now you're funneling down. You're getting smaller. You're getting more targeted, right? And now you're starting to reach out to people. Where are they at? What are they doing? Who has what position? Can they connect me to such and such? Can they do a virtual introduction? Whatever that may look like, right? For you in order to start this outreach, right? So he has on here, call the company and ask who the owners are. Well, you don't have to call the company and ask who the owners are, but you can start reaching out to your people in your network to find out who they are, in terms of who's hiring for those positions and so forth. You can start checking Levels FYI to see if they have the latest listing on how they're getting paid at that company, or a position that people are applying, that you're applying for. How much do they normally run in terms of salary? You can use Glassdoor, you can use Indeed, whatever, right? And then it says here, he's saying check sexstates.com for the state of business information. I'm going to flip that and go tell you to see if it's publicly traded or not. Go to Fidelity or go to um, Yahoo or whatever and pull a prospectus on the company and look and see what type of business and companies they have been buying over the years. Who have they acquired? Again, it's always smaller entities or smaller companies within those companies. But now you understand the finances behind the company, right? So your Charles Schwab, your Fidelity, your M1 Finance. I think even you could pull. I think now from Robinhood you can pull a prospectus now, right? So again, looking at the financials of the company, right? What's going on before the billions, right? So now you got that part. Now it says check the about us. Literally, go check the about us. That's literal there. Go check the about us to see who's the CEO, who's the CFO. Do they do public speaking? Where do they do public speaking at? Go follow them on LinkedIn. Go check out their Twitter page if they got a Twitter page, right? Go see what they've been up to. What are they talking about? What is the future of the company? How do they look at the company, right? Then again, search the company on LinkedIn. Yeah, do that. Even take it one step further and find out this last one, the green Google business license. Go look and see what kind of patents they have, if they have any patents. How long has the company been around, right? You could take exactly the same thing here and dive a little further. All right. So let's keep going because that's a whole lot more. This sounds like a lot, but I'm giving you the tools in order to break down who you are, what skill sets you have, what does that look like, and then filter really, really slowly down to you get to your target audience and what, and I say target audience meaning your targeted sector of where you want to apply for jobs at and so forth. All right, so now let's keep going.
The entity, if the first place that I would look is where the thing is headquartered. So if you're in California and the business seems to be in California, then I would look in California Secretary of State. If it's not there, then it should be, if it's operating here, registered, even if it's a foreign state for the name of the business. You can say business permits, city and state for the name of the business, licenses and inspections, or certificate of occupancy. Those are things you can do. Now, once you have that, and then Sales Navigator, just to kind of give you an idea, what's cool about it for those of you who don't know, is it's a separate thing from regular LinkedIn, but you can search by keywords and add industries, the geography that you want it to be located in, the seniority level of the people and their role.
Yeah, that's a good one too, right? So now you can take one step further, right? So in terms of what this is using LinkedIn, he's saying using LinkedIn for Sales Navigator. I would say source LinkedIn for the people that have contacted you and reached out to you, what they're looking at in terms of your skill sets. But hell, what are their skill sets? Are they senior? Where are they located at? Are you working with a remote team? Who will be interviewing you? Start researching them. What is the relationship between those people? Sometimes people bring other people from other companies and so forth, right? And what industry did they come from, right? What industry that the people are interviewing you? What industry did they come from? What company did they come from? What are their unique skills? What are their specializations, right? Again, you're trying to be ahead of the curve. Well, when you're looking at this interview process, this research process for these jobs, for these companies, for a client, for a customer, these all can be applied the same way, right? So let's go back into it.
like their title. You only want CEOs or C-suite people. You can also do Boolean searches with like and or and things like that. And you can search by the number of employees. So all the things that we identified as criteria that we care about, you can search for on Sales Net.
One key thing there. He said you can search by number of employees. Some of you don't want to work for a company that has 10,000, 20,000, a million people. Some people want to work for a company that only got like 2,000 people, 3,000 people. Some people don't want to work at a big organization. Some people want to work at a smaller entity. But you got to figure out what that looks like for you. Like, do you want to be a big fish in a small pond, or do you want to be a big fish in a big pond? A small fish in a big pond. Now you got to figure out what your comfort level is. Do you want to be able to reach out and touch the actual CEO, or do you not care? Or do you want to be able to walk down the hallway and be like, yo, I'm going to talk to the vice president, me and him cool, about to play some air hockey, whatever the case may be. What I'm simply saying is you need to figure out what size company, what your niche is, right? What works for your personality, what works for you, where you feel you're going to thrive, right?
Navigator, and it's designed intentionally to allow you to find this information. Then you want to make contact. So there's a few ways to do that. The best is always a warm intro. So
I don't think this needs any introduction here. How to make contact with someone who's over this particular position. What does that look like? Right. So he's just showing you different ways of, again, if I want to acquire a company, what am I looking at from this company? How do I break this company down? If I want to be in the workforce and I want to be in tech, or I want to be in any industry, what are my skill sets? How do I break them down? What my assets will do? And then what are my problems that I have? How do I rank those problems? And then how do I come up with solutions in order to make things better? And what are the solutions of that I want to solve in these particular sectors? A lot of people say, I just want to work and make money. For some people, it's a passion, it's an art. I want to enable others to do certain things. It is a drive, it is a goal. What does that look like for you? Everybody is going to be different. And then how to start and doing analysis on the particular sector and the companies that you're looking at, right? All these things all flow together. This is all business. This is all research. This is all how you're looking at companies. Again, you got to stand back and not look at it like I'm going to go work for them. I'm going to go enable a team in order to do something else, which enriches my skill set and my business acumen in order for me to go here, right? I'm learning business through you, but you're paying me to learn business. You're paying me to learn how to contact people. You're paying me to learn how to talk to people. You're paying me to learn how to work in teams. You're paying me for this growth, and then you move on and you start the cycle all over again, but you add a little bit more to it. You learn a little something different, and you keep growing, right? So this right here, how to make contact, I think is self-explanatory, but you can use this as an example.
If it's somebody that's anywhere arguably in your network, I reach out to the network and say, is there anybody that knows somebody at XYZ Co? I'm trying to connect with them to do some business with them. I always say to do business with them instead of to buy them. Make a phone call. Just call the person that you want. If you've got their phone number and you're good on the phone, you can write a letter. Letters are great because they are usually sent, if you're sending to the address from the Secretary of State site, they're usually being received at home, and they will get attention, and they will also get their attention. LinkedIn, you can make a connection request, or just reaching out on social, finding them and messaging. So I've used all of these. I find them all to be very effective. Now, what do you say? What do you ask? Here's the deal with scripts. They're usually not in your voice. So if you're at a complete loss of what to say, copy mine word for word. But if you read these, they'll give you the gist. And the gist is that you want to come in from the side. You don't want to come on head on at them saying, I want to buy your business. You're a loser. Your business is going out of business.
So writing a script. So how many of you have a script for when you are talking to a recruiter for the first time, or you're being, or an introduction, do you have like maybe 3 to 5 bullet points that you always want to hit when your first initial contact? Do you have that written down, or do you have it memorized somewhere? Hey, how you doing? Glad you contacted me for this position. Could you give me a little bit more information about the position? I've read through your description. Um, what's your interview process? What is your salary? What is the salary range? How big is the team? Why is this position open? How soon are they looking to fill the position? Right? That recruiter may call you, or they may answer the questions in an email, but that's a template, right? That you can use on any company. And then the next set of questions is probably going to be a follow-up is, well, this position is open because of such and such. I'm not sure why the position is open because of such and such. We can put you in contact with X, Y, and Z. Would you like to move forward with the first round of interviews, and so forth, right? Depending on what the salary range is, right? So keeping that in mind, right? You need to have a script. And that script should be like a templated email that you just use to respond, change a name, change whatever, and go from there. But this is after you read the description, because some information may already be in the description. But like I say, 3 to 5 questions, right? You can write down 10 questions and then pull on notepad or something like that, and then pull out 5 of those questions, or 3 of those questions, and cut and paste and then email back. But the goal here is, you want to email back. For me, I find if somebody email me, I try to respond within the next 10 minutes or so. And the reason why is because I know that person is possibly still sitting there, and I want to get my answer to what I'm asking now. I don't want to wait 2, 3 days before they answer or whatnot, right? And depending on how promptly they respond, it's also a factor for me, right? It's also a factor for me. So again, do you have a script? How are you connecting with people? If someone is introducing you to someone else, what's your script? What's going to be your introduction to that person? What are you going to say to that person? You want to get in touch with them because of what? They don't know you. You don't know them. What's your goal? For them to do an introduction to somebody that's in the company? Well, are you going to say, hey, I would like to have a little 10-minute, coffee, coffee on me type of situation, $5 or whatever. I'll send you a gift card, whatever the case may be. Right? Depending on your level of comfort there when we're talking about this, right? Remember, it's all about reciprocity when we're talking about this. You're asking someone to lend a hand from their network, and they get nothing in return, but you getting access to their network. Where's the give back in it, right? And people remember when you give back. People remember that. People remember when, oh, I looked out for such and such. Oh yeah, they gave me a gift card. You know what? They ain't have to do that. I appreciate them. The give back, right? I appreciate them, right? And now you got that, that feeling going, right? So let's continue here.
And therefore I'm going to buy it from you and steal it. You want to say something along the lines of, I'm an investor. So think about this like in sections as opposed to doing it word for word. You want to personalize if it's on LinkedIn, because you want to distinguish yourself from all the spam that people get on LinkedIn, also known as spammed in. So I use their first name, and then I say I'm an investor looking to invest in whatever their industry is, company, so it shows that I have some inkling of what they are. And if you send me letters on LinkedIn, please call me Roland, not Ronald. That's my first pet peeve, right? Located in their geography, and then give some of your things. Your company came up in my research, I find to be very vague. Your company came up in my research. That's how I found you. How'd you find us? Your company came up in my research. Oh, okay, right. Okay. Very few people say, how did you find me? And since you're a blank and I use their title, so it shows I really did my homework, then I'm requesting a connection to see if you might like to chat about the possibility of working together in some way. Okay, so very innocuous. Everything is innocuous. I'm an investor and I want to work in some way. That's probably going to get a response because they're like, that sounds like you want to give me money, right? I like money. The second way would be, I own a business in your industry and I'm looking for a business like yours to refer people to, right? Don't say if it's not true, but that was what Paul and I talked about in approaching somebody. And so that's a very easy way. And he was able to set up a coffee meet with the guy right away, right? Then build, know, like, and trust. If anybody has read anything about Tony Robbins or neurolinguistic programming, use all that stuff. When I respond to somebody who sends me a written message, I always look and see what they said. But the others, it's good to respond to them with the same greeting that they sent you. It just puts you in alignment right off the bat. So I'll always scroll up when I'm getting ready to respond and see, are they a hey person, a hi person, or a hello person? Use that kind of mirroring. Obviously, if you meet them, you can use leading and rapport and all that kind of stuff. And then common ground. So asking what their story is, and especially what they love to tell you is the origin story of their business, which you really want to hear because you want to know what's their story, what's their pain, what caused them to do this, all of that kind of stuff. And then future pace them for what is the next after this business, post this business, what are they going to do? Okay. Not that they're necessarily retiring or selling to you or anything like that. Just, hey, what are you going to do when you're done with all this? Or what do you do for fun? Right? What do you do for fun is really good too. I find what would that look like to be very, very good at future pacing. What would that look like causes them to literally imagine in their mind, right? It's like the other person's business is always the most interesting business in the world. Now, all
on this one, when he was like, what does that look like, right? So what do you want the end result to be with you in this company, right? That you're seeking employment from? What do you want your next 2 to 3 years look like? After you got the job, what do you want your skill sets to look like? What do you want these things to be for yourself, right? These are things that you need to take into consideration, things that you need to consider when you're looking for your employment, right? And so this is not all that I do. It's not all that I do. This is just an idea of some of the things that you could possibly do for yourself and what you could take away from here. So the last but not least, this right here, it says find their why. I implore you to go check that book out, Find Their Why. Let me see if it's on Safari. Let me look. Find Their Why. And I'll give you the actual see Find Their Why. And I think we talked about this book before. I had to stop y'all from editing this because it just got ridiculous. It was everything but what I was talking about. So I just turned the edit off. You couldn't even be nice. I don't know. I don't know why it's so hard. All right. So, all right. Simon, I guess Sneak, Sign K, I guess you want to say. David Mead and Peter Brocker. All right. So find your why. Find your why with start and why with why. Simon started a movement to inspire people to do things that inspire them. Millions of people now understand the concept of the golden circle. Find your why, designed to help those inspired by the message find their why and bring it to life in their careers and organizations, right? You got one that start with the why and so forth, right? So let's go and see if we can find it on Amazon and Safari. Let's see. Uh, find. Uh, how can I spell something? I don't know why this is coming up. Why my Safari is acting? Okay, there we go. That's good. Books. Find the fire. I don't see find the why. Let me see. Let me look here. Yeah, I'm not finding his books in here. Yeah, books. Let me go to all. Yeah, I'm not finding it in here. So it's not on Safari. So it's probably straight on Amazon. But you get the gist here, as far as being able to look at a company, break it down, for something that you may want to work with, work for, consult with, how you can utilize your assets, which are your skill sets, and improve on them, and come up with a plan to improve on them, working towards um, pulling your all your skill sets that are one, twos, and threes to fours and fives. Basically the Mamba mentality, right? If you know you're weak in one area, how do you get stronger, right? You're gonna have to practice, you're gonna have to read, you're gonna have to study, you're gonna have to be a student of that, right? But you can't let four and five get weak either, because you so focused on getting ones, twos, and threes up to fours and fives, right? And you could take the path of least resistance and take threes and turn them into fours, right? And then take twos and turn them into threes, and ones into twos, right? You can work backwards, right? Um, Small baby steps is what I'm getting at there. All right. So let me see what else we got in here. All right. Uh, All right, so there's an award out, the Best Workplaces Award, but that ain't what I really want. I guess I don't know if I want to talk about this or not. Um, hmm, yeah, I'll wait the next week to talk about that one. Well, we can talk about this a little bit. Bernard Arnault became the world's richest person. That happened December the 15th. Let me black down because it's super huge so you can see. All right, you know who he is. He is the Louis Vuitton man. You know who that guy is. All right. He just became the first European to top Bloomberg's list as the world's richest person, relegating Elon Musk to second place. His, he's now worth 171 billion. He eclipsed CEO of Tesla of 164 billion, according to Bloomberg's billionaires index. Let me click on that. Arnold had already ousted Musk from the top spot of Forbes of real-time billionaires last week. Musk's net worth has tumbled to 107 billion this year. Tumbled. According to Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Arnold's wealth, which stems from his controlled stake in LVMH, has suffered a modest $7 billion decline. All right. Let me see. What did I click on? I didn't click on this. Where's my guy? Bloomberg. So then it would be here. It is $1 billion index. So here's a list of their index. Larry Page. I'll blow it up some. I'm gonna take it back down because you can't see that where they came from. United States, Elon, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Larry Ellison, Steve, Larry, Sergey, both of the Koch, I guess, family, all the Waltons, they down here at 17, 18, and 19. Jacqueline Badger, John Mars, Michael Dell, Zuckerberg, Phil Knight and family. I'm not sure how to say that. I say Blavalanik. Jeff Yaz, I guess Miriam Alderson, Ken Griffin, and Ken Griffey. Steven Schwartzman, Abigail Johnson, Leonard Lauder, and James Simons. And then they had the industry in which they all come from. After you say they just hating on Elon because he's going against heavyweights on the status quo. Possibly. I mean, everybody hates on everybody, right? I pulled this up because it was interesting because that private equity funds are buying YouTube channels. Investors fund creators. They're actually creating, buying YouTube channels. So I'll go to that next week. I wanted to also mention there is a mastermind if you're interested. With Mr. Potato Head. I'm just playing. Mr. Damon Johnson. Check that out. All right. It's at Rise Nation Mastermind. All right. So here's what I really wanted to get into. So Natasha Stevens, I know you have been studying your AWS stuff. So I went and looked up some solution architect for AWS in various companies. And so in L4 to L7, you're looking at 163 to 432. Amazon has an irregular vesting schedule, 5, 15, 40, and 40. The average total compensation is calculated by dividing the total stock number evenly by 4. And so you see how an actual W-2 income is set up. Principal SA, total comp 432, base 215, stock 162, bonus 55. And then they got their trajectory of really your bonus on here and your salary range chart right here. And this is levels FYI. Just want to get you that. So entry is 163, base is 122, stocks is 25, and you get a bonus of 17K. More than likely a sign-on bonus. And we can go over here to salaries, and you can pick and choose what you want from levels FYI. All right. Let me see. And I think, oh yeah, one more. This is our last one, and we're almost ready to get out. Our last one is what do you know about OpenAI's chatbot and how it affects your security? Lightning talks and panel sessions. This is coming up on December the 21st on SANS.org. For those that got to keep up with your CEUs, you get some CEUs out of this right here. So go ahead and watch that. Right? Go ahead and check it out. Watch that Open AI chat GPT, right? Um let me think. Was there anything else that I forgot to mention? I really want to break down how you guys can look at yourself, your assets. I don't know. Do y'all need that video, that Roland Martin, Roland Frazier video? uh, to check it out, to see if you want to take a look at it. He has some good videos that I think you could take from his videos and just align them with who you are as a person, and then look at yourself as the business. Like if someone was coming to, let's say you are a business and you've been doing consulting and you want to sell your consulting firm, how would you use this same concept and break down the assets, the problems, and then the solutions? How would you as a consultant look at yourself as a consultant and then do that whole homework? How would you sell yourself? How would you break down the business structure of who you are to be sold off into pieces? Maybe you're really good at cloud, or maybe you're really good at on hybrid or on-prem, right? So that, just understanding what that is. After you say the YouTube channel buying and selling thing is all about understanding how much value and impact you have created and knowing how much it's worth. Right, but you can still look at what we just did to figure out how to buy that business, right? It's still a channel, and what assets does the channel have? The number of viewers, the viewership, the marketing that goes behind it, the branding that goes behind it, the audience that have not been converted to subscribing to the channel. Those are things that you could really focus and hone in on. The Let me pull up. Uh, Let me pull it up, Melissa. You just want the Roland Frazier one? Um, yeah, this one.
I know this from being in.
Here we go. I'll give it to D. D can post it for you. It was airing out on me on the Facebook side, so I let D post it and handle it from there. I had to post it twice. All right. So I was gonna get into this, but I know D's got stuff to do in the back, so I'm not gonna hold her up. However, come we won't meet next week because that's y'all family time. I don't know if y'all gonna be hanging out next week. However, I may try to do something during the week like we did last week. Maybe something Thursday, and then go from there. I want y'all to have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy your time. I hope this was helpful for you. Those that were putting derogatory comments on the thing, I took off the editing. I'm sorry. I tried to be nice and do some nice things, but you just want to be mean and nasty. It's all good. Um, so that's your homework, is mind map yourself. Look at yourself as a look at yourself for the skill sets that you have, and then look at yourself as a business to get your mind flowing, and then look at what industry do you think you really, what sector of the industry do you really think you would be thriving at or that you want to work in? Some of you may want to go work for a liquor brand. Somebody may want to go work for you may want to go work for a different, um, I mean, a liquor brand. You may want to go work for a grocery store brand. You may want to go work for a brand like Dollar General or whatnot. Uh, so just keep that in mind as you know what I'm saying, uh, figure things out. And last but not least,
Backpack, 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 backpack,
make sure you all
backpack, backpack,
are doing your research on
backpack,
people.
backpack.
And don't be the woman or the man that moves in the person's house and the name ain't on the deed. And don't be married to somebody for 30 years and your name is not on the deed. All right, because you sure enough can be this person here. You can be this person.
Backpack, 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 backpack.
That was a special request from D, so I made sure I played it for her. All right, y'all have fun. Don't get caught out there with no estate, no date. Get it up. All right, shirts are waiting on you all. See y'all next week.